Hey everyone, and welcome to Cozying Up with the Clear Cut, where we get up close and personal with women that inspire us. Today we are sitting down with Kelli Adams. She is the co-founder and chief creative officer of Onda, my personal favorite sparkling tequila drink. We talk about how she got started in the packaged beverage world, her inspiration for Onda, and we talk about some of her famous co-founders as well. Check it out. Hey everyone, and welcome to Cozying Up with the Clear Cut, where we get up close and personal with women that inspire us. Today we're sitting down with Kelli Adams. She is the co-founder and chief creative officer of Onda. It is a sparkling tequila drink, which I am personally obsessed with. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
Of course, I'm obsessed with Onda because I love tequila, and this is like the perfect summer drink where I don't feel like I have to be like taking tequila shots. I can kind of like sip on it, and it's so beautiful. I'm obsessed with the packaging.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about your journey. Like how did you get here, like as the chief creative officer?
Yeah, I mean, my background, I always loved being creative as a kid, like in high school, art classes, photography, like that was my shtick. And I realized I could do graphic design as a career. So I started in editorial design at WSJ magazine. So that's kind of where I got my foot in the door with design. And then I learned about branding. And yeah, it was great to work with clients and help them bring to life their vision. But being able to do that for myself and having ownership over it, like creating a brand that I had in my head was like amazing. Like I've always wanted to do that. I never knew it would be in the alcohol space.
Yeah, so how did that come about?
Yeah, I mean, so I have three other co-founders, the actress and entrepreneur and social media guru, Shay Mitchell.
Love her.
Noah Gray, our CEO, and Max Werwin, our COO. And we all like had, our go-to bar drink was tequila soda. And we saw what was happening in the hard seltzer category. Of course, it's booming. Mm-hmm. We saw what brands were starting to do in the vodka seltzer category, and nobody was really doing it in a great way with tequila.
It seems like a no-brainer. Tequila soda is the go-to.
Right?
Yeah.
It seemed like we say like all of a sudden overnight, everybody's go-to bar order is tequila soda.
Yeah.
And there were like two brands that existed, but they were like, they had a ton of sugar. They're just like, not like, you know, just not high integrity ingredients and not really cool, good branding. Mm-hmm. So we got into the space and created the branding. And
because the first thing you are attracted to is obviously like the branding. And then once you pick it up and you drink it, then the product is like, wow. Yeah. But that orange color, like the vibe, that's what draws you in.
Yeah, I mean, what we wanted to do after looking at like kind of the category audit, so many brands are silver or white and just kind of like a sea of similar cans. Mm-hmm. So kind of creating this brand that had this really distinctive, super bright, like you can't miss it when you see it in a store. It's like a beacon of orange. Creating this brand that had that impact. And we were really thoughtful when it came to the design, like the gold foil touches and just something that you would want to bring to like a barbecue or a pool or birthday, like just something that's a little bit more thoughtful in the design.
And we had some at our tennis event yesterday, and people were just so drawn to it. I think it's just like such a fun drink. People want to like take pictures with it and like show it off. What was the idea behind the design?
Yeah, so I was inspired by living in LA. It's like, I live in Santa Monica by the beach, and I was inspired to create something around that, like surf culture from the 90s and brands like Body Glove and Ocean Pacific and that kind of like, that's sort of a little bit of that retro 90s feel, but very like 2021. Mm-hmm. And I mean, the color is a huge part of that, but creating this like Onda Beach Club community is what we call our fans now. But it's been so exciting seeing people taking selfies with it and creating content and like going on a boat with their Onda and like capturing that and seeing more and more of that. And it's just, it's really exciting to see. Like we've only been around for a year now, but it's picking up and people are really into it. And
So you guys launched during pandemic or pre-pandemic?
Yeah, so we launched July 2020.
Okay, so kind of in the thick of it.
Yeah, and of course that shifted so much of our initial launch strategy because restaurants and bars weren't open. We couldn't do samplings. Wholesalers weren't taking in new brands.
Couldn't host like a huge launch party.
Exactly, like we couldn't do a party. We couldn't do any activation around the launch. So we shifted to focus more on e-commerce and digital marketing. And it was tricky. It's like people have never tried this product before. We're just going to launch it online and hope that people buy it. We launched July 1st, 2020. And I think in like 10 days, we sold out online.
Wow.
Which was really cool.
That's amazing. How did you guys navigate, launching in the middle of a pandemic?
I mean, another interesting thing is we just did everything, of course, over Zoom. Like that was really challenging to do all of the brand work, all of the tastings of the product.
Wow.
Like we would get on a call and like, I'm trying grapefruit, like round 2Z. Like, what do you, like we would have to do everything just over Zoom. And there was rarely a time where like the four of us were in a room together, like pinning stuff up on a wall and like talking through it and all the things that you would usually do launching a brand. I was like, Shay and I are out in LA, and then Max and Noah are East Coast based. So it was interesting, but realize it's, we're all living in that kind of world now. It's kind of the norm, but launching a brand was really interesting in that era.
And now that we're kind of coming out of it, have you seen any sort of like shift in sort of sales or anything to do with the company?
Yeah, we're focusing more on retail and our wholesalers and those accounts. And yeah, more and more people are buying in stores as opposed to online. Because we haven't been putting as much effort in digital marketing as we were at the initial launch. But now that people have tried it, they can go stock up online on our website, which is great. So
awesome.
Yeah.
And what made you get interested in going into the alcohol industry? I feel like it's similar to jewelry, kind of like a male-dominated, kind of closed off, like a hard to break into industry with a ton of competition.
Yeah, I mean, there aren't many female-owned brands in the space. I've seen more and more though lately, which is exciting. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I never knew I would be in this space, but it's fun. It's like a really fun, rewarding industry. And as a woman co-founder, like you may walk into a meeting and like it's mostly men, and you kind of feel empowered. Like there's something really rewarding about that. Yeah, and we work with a woman-owned distillery, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in Jalisco. There's only 2 out of 156 distilleries, so we're really proud that we get to work with.
Was that intentional when you guys were creating the product?
Yeah, so we wanted to work with them because they are a great distillery. Like they're one of the most awarded distilleries, but it was just an extra, like, great, amazing piece to that there is also a female founder behind it, which is great how that kind of fits with our brand too.
Awesome. Yeah. And I know that co-founder dynamics can be crazy. I mean, I work with my husband. He's my co-founder, so everyone's always very intrigued by that. You have 4 co-founders and one is like a mega celebrity. What are the dynamics like that? How did that even come about?
Yeah, so we met through mutual friends and kind of bonded over tequila. Yeah, it was just kind of serendipitous. Like meeting Shay, like she's so good at content, and like she knows, like she's created this like community, and she's so good at like creating like sexy, fun content. And
yeah, she's so funny.
She's so funny, so incredibly talented. Like, and then just what her experience of what she's done with Base and creating another brand and having that as her background is great. And having another like co-female like founder with me is great. And then having the balance of Max and Noah and the guys and having a male-female perspective on things is good.
Yeah, I think it like brings more like diversity to the product, more like opinions. And so I think that's awesome. So cool.
Hey everyone, Olivia here. Hope you're enjoying our episode. Our Clear Cut collection features fine jewelry pieces inspired and designed with you in mind. Our collection is ever-changing and each piece is handmade and made to order here in New York City. Don't forget to check it out and use the code COZY, C-O-Z-Y, for free shipping on any purchase.
What are the hopes for Onda like in the future? Like, I think it is blowing up. I'm seeing like everyone post about it, drink it. Like, I'm obsessed with it. What are your hopes and aspirations for it?
Yeah, I mean, that's what really gets me excited and like out of bed every morning is just seeing people like posting, like getting texts from my friends of like people that are at a picnic and they're all drinking Onda and like starting to see it more and more in the real world.
In the wild.
So, yeah, Onda in the wild. And yeah, I just want it to be more available everywhere. Like we're now in 22 states, but we're continuing to expand. You know, we're getting requests every other day. Can we be in Canada? Or when will you be in Canada? And of course, that's where Shay is from. So we have a ton of Canadian fans. I'd love to expand to Canada eventually. Yeah, we're working on flavors, new flavor launches, and want to continue expanding that.
What are the most popular flavors?
Right now, lime is very popular, classic, like the classic margarita. My favorite's grapefruit. It's like a Paloma. It's really light, really easy to drink. But we also just launched watermelon and blood orange.
I love watermelon. Still haven't tried blood orange.
Yes,
but I'm
I know.
excited.
I brought watermelon. I should have brought. I'll get you some blood orange. Yeah, but we've had great feedback. A lot of people like message us and say, after I've had this, I'm never drinking anything else again. Like it's very cool to hear that.
No, it's like the perfect thing to like bring to a party, go on a boat, like just perfect summer, like drink. It's so easy too because it's like already in a can.
It's you don't need to worry about making a drink on the beach or at a party. Yeah.
Kind of shifting gears back to the design. So you said you worked at like a big design studio for other clients. I feel like this brand is like so fresh and so like inviting and exciting. I've seen like how do you come up with a design that feels like new and fresh and isn't something that's been replicated a million times? Because I feel like a lot of like new brands can feel like another brand that I've seen before, you know?
Yeah. That's what we were seeing was, like I said, all the like white and silver cans. Like nobody was really owning a brand color in the space. Like look at Tiffany's, Coca-Cola, like these brands that own a color and really like just owning a color. I said that 3 times. Yeah, and I think it's a lot to do with just, you know, of course it's an alcohol brand, but thinking about us beyond that, like we have our apparel line, like just what else could we do beyond alcohol is really exciting to me.
More of like the lifestyle.
Yeah, the lifestyle and creating that. Yeah.
So as a female founder, like what are some of the most rewarding aspects and what are some of the hardest aspects of that?
I think it's because it is a bit rare to be a female in the industry. It's rewarding to be a bit of an anomaly. I think there are more and more females continuing to come into the space, but yeah, like I said, like you could walk into a meeting and you're like one of the only females, and it can be intimidating, but then it's also like empowering. Yeah.
What do you do for self-care as a female founder?
Oh, I have been trying to become a morning person, and so I've been trying to go to bed early because I know that days when I wake up early and have some time in the morning to just like reflect, like not wake up to Slacks and emails and just have the morning to myself a bit, is when I find I have like a really productive day. Like I try to go down to the beach in the morning and like,
wow, that's so nice. Only in LA.
I mean, I rarely do it, but it's like, yeah, just to have some of that time in the morning for myself before the day starts. Also, a lot of our team is based on the East Coast, so trying to work on that timeline too. random fact, I just bought rollerblades the other day.
Another very LA thing. I feel like I was walking down Santa Monica last week and I was seeing people rollerblading. I was like, this is such like an LA.
Yeah, you don't see that in New York.
No.
Yeah, I haven't used them yet, but I just got them the other day and I'm going to try to start rollerblading.
I feel like that's a very good exercise.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, since I've been here, I feel like I've been more of a morning person just because I have to work with our team in New York, and I've been liking it.
And then you can end your day a little earlier and then have an Onda.
Yeah, exactly.
5 o'clock.
That's exactly what I did yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
So we are a jewelry company. So we always ask, what's your favorite go-to jewelry piece? Do you have like a sentimental piece that you go to, or are you kind of like more trendy? Or
yeah, a lot of my jewelry is sentimental because it was like my nana's, or or a lot of my jewelry is gifts. I don't tend to buy it for myself, and I think as I've gotten older, I've gotten a bit more like simpler with what I wear, and the pieces being a bit more classic. Like I don't know, I used to wear like big statement earrings to an event. Like, I don't know if that's my vibe anymore. Like, I like a bit more of the simplicity, like really beautiful pieces. Like, I want to get that tennis necklace that you guys just did the other day. Yeah. So I think it's just simple key pieces.
Things that you can like wear and never take off and like kind of keep on.
Yeah. Like these earrings that my mom got me. These like little emerald
beautiful
guys. Yeah. Just something simple.
Awesome. And what advice do you have for female entrepreneurs who want to break into a male-dominated industry?
Yeah, I think figuring out what drives you and like what you're passionate about is really important. I'm a big believer that if you're not happy in what you're doing in your career, like how can you be happy with your life? Like it's what you're doing every day. And I have quit my job many times because I just wasn't really feeling fulfilled. And maybe that was stupid. I quit jobs and didn't have a backup plan just because I wasn't feeling happy with what I was doing in my day-to-day job. And when you can have a career that doesn't feel like a job, it's fun. Like I think what we're building at Onda, like creating teams that it's just like, it's fun to like have these Zoom meetings.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just creating a team too with people around you that are experts in their field. Because we couldn't really do, like, I have never worked in the alcohol industry. Like, I don't know what I'm doing half the time. You learn as you go.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I think surrounding yourself with experts that have already done this before and like working with great teammates that,
Yeah. I mean, kind of what you said, like, if you're not happy in what you're doing, you're not going to be happy out of work life either. So
yeah,
this idea of like work-life balance where you like hate your job and then you just like try to do things after work, you're never going to be fully happy if you like hate your job and have to go into work every day. So it's about finding something like if you're working longer, but it's at something that you really love, then as long as you're happy, that's what matters.
Yeah.
That's why when we have long days, I don't mind because I'm like, I love what I do.
Yeah, that's great. And it takes it took a while to figure that out.
Totally. Yeah. And it takes a couple shitty jobs to like figure that out,
Yeah.
To really be like, wow, I know what I don't want, and now I can figure out what I do want.
Right. Yeah.
Awesome. What are your favorite food pairings with Onda?
I mean, I'd say the classic is a taco, like a taco with tequila, but anything like summery, kind of like just having some fresh fruit with Onda is great. I had pizza the other night with that. Like anything goes well with it. Yeah, I'd say my go-to would be like a taco.
Yeah, awesome. Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, can't go wrong. Classic.
Well, thank you so much, Kelli, for coming and meeting with us. This was so much fun. I'm a huge fan of the brand, of the product, and it was so great hearing about your story.
Thank you so much.
It was so much fun sitting down with Kelli and chatting about her inspiration behind the design of Onda. What flavor do you guys want to see next? I'm really hoping for something tropical, but let me know what you would like to see at your next tailgate or barbecue.
Onda is available at major retailers in 22 states. To find Onda near you, visit the store locator on the site at drinkonda.com. You can also purchase online, and we have a special code, ClearCut15, for 15% off.